Okay, so first I'd like to give a few messages. We have a raffle. If you go to chaosgroup.com/24 hours chaos-giveaway, you can see there's a link down below. You can enter to win prizes, and we have prizes from Chaos Group. We have prizes from Autodesk. We have prizes from Shiny Software and tickets for Creative Lighting's Light Mix class. So all you have to do is fill up the form and be part of it. We also have a social media giveaway. If you can post or share a picture or a selfie of you watching our show, you can enter to win. There's a lot of prizes. My God.
Yeah.
We have notebooks, T-shirts, mouse pads, whatever you name it, we have it. So make sure that you share your photos with us. You can do it on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook, and then you can maybe win a lot of prizes, a bunch of prizes. I wish I could win a bunch of prizes, don't you?
Yeah, I believe the Autodesk and Chaos Group and the other sponsors did an amazing job for everyone. So I believe the people don't need to make so much stuff to bring prizes like license and products and t-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, everything. So guys, please go share it on Instagram, on Facebook and Twitter, like Ricardo said previously, and we are looking forward to watch it as well.
Nice. Just before we announce our lineup, I'd like to kind of introduce ourselves because I think
Yeah.
that not everybody knows us. Would you like to start? Do you want me to go first?
Uh, You want to go first? Me? I can go. There is no problem. So, hello everyone. I'm Pedro. I'm from Portugal. I'm a 3D artist as well, like many of you. But I'm here because I have a small community in Portugal to creating a podcasts and workshops for the Portuguese community, and I hope in the next year we can have you, some of you, in Portugal because we will start a festival, and that will be something really awesome to see you all around and drink some beers, watching some talks, and that is my main focus for next year. I believe you have something similar, right, Ricardo?
Yeah, we do have. For those who don't know me, I'm Ricardo Eloy. I'm from Chaos Group and VirayMasters.com. I'm the host of the podcast Viray Master Talk, where we interview great names of CG that speak Portuguese from Portugal and Brazil. And we were invited by Chaos to host this event, this part of the show, and we brought a bunch of friends with us. I think you can see we already have some of them on the screen with us. We have Andre Matos, Nuno Silva, Christopher Malheiros, and Cassio Carvalho, and Pedro Conti are already with us here live. How are you guys? You're all
Hey,
muted.
hey.
Okay.
Hi, Eloy. Hi, Pedro.
Hi everyone.
Everybody ready for our presentations?
Yeah, I think everybody got a little bit contaminated by the cocktail from Nico, so I went to the fuel station. I went to the fuel station close by, and I got like myself a 1 liter beer because I didn't have any alcohol at home. So it's not really a cocktail, but it's getting there, right?
Yeah.
That's the intention that counts, I think.
I hope I'm still on time for the spaghetti as well.
Yeah, Simon was
Simon-
eating spaghetti, but
Yeah.
they're cutting it with a knife. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, that made Fabio mad. So let's not talk.
I was mad myself here because I have Italian. So we have a packed show tonight. I'm going to read our schedule here because there's a lot of people, great people for you guys to enjoy. So we have Neorama with Cassio Carvalho and Ernani Cravo. We have Luciano Neves from ClanVFX. We have Christopher Malheiros, Sanchez, Nuno Silva, Alencar, Andre Matos and his beer, and Pedro Conti and Victor Hugo to finish up the show. So without further ado, I'd like to start the show, right, Pedro?
Yeah.
Let's start with
believe it's
Neorama,
time.
right?
Yeah, let's do it. Are you ready, Cassio and Ernani?
Yes, you're here.
Yo, amazing. So I believe it's time to start the show. I hope everyone at home enjoyed. So
E aí,
let's do
pessoal,
it.
tudo bem? Meu nome é Ernani
Before we hit the
Cravo, eu
play,
sou
just
sócio e
one
diretor de
second, please.
produção da
There you are.
So, hi everyone. So first of all, thank you, Eloy. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Chaos. And thank you also to everyone who's watching us today. It's a big pleasure to be here. Today, Ernani and I will be representing Neorama for you. And we want to share a little bit of our work, our history, and our passion. We believe that everything begins with a dream. That's what gives us the courage to overcome challenges and do the best work possible, always seeking for excellence and innovation. That's our belief. And we want to say for those of you who are starting as artists or running business, and also for those who have already achieved big goals, we want to say, never stop dreaming. And that's our big goal, and that's our presentation today about. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching.
Very nice. There we go.
E aí, pessoal, tudo bem? Meu nome é Ernani Cravo, eu sou sócio e diretor de produção da Neorama. Eu trabalho há mais ou menos uns 25 anos nessa área e sou apaixonado pelo meu trabalho. Principalmente na área de iluminação e fotografia, que eu considero especialista, é onde eu mais gosto de atuar e é onde eu tento explorar um pouco mais nos meus trabalhos.
Eu sou Cassio Carvalho, sócio e diretor da Neorama, publicitário de formação e um apaixonado por arquitetura, cinema e tecnologia.
Eu sempre entendi o trabalho da Neorama como um produto para viabilizar sonhos e ideias. Seja o sonho de algum mega empresário ou até mesmo o sonho de alguém que vai adquirir esse imóvel, seu escritório, sua casa, seu local de trabalho, ou até mesmo para exprimir ideias de arquitetos, decoradores ou paisagistas. A sensação que a gente tem é que a primeira vez que essa pessoa, quando ela sonhou algo, ela vai ver pela primeira vez através das nossas imagens e através dos nossos filmes, através de algo que a gente produz no dia a dia. Isso para nós é um sentimento muito poderoso. O nosso trabalho nos propicia enxergar na frente. Nós tivemos o prazer de ver as cidades se materializando, mudando seu skyline em função de trabalhos que nós realizamos. Isso é o que nos motiva, nos provoca e nos move todo dia.
Mas isso, obviamente, não aconteceu do dia para a noite. Isso começa há 20 anos, em um escritório de 9 metros quadrados, com 3 computadores, 3 pessoas e um grande sonho, que é trabalhar com os maiores projetos do mundo. E 5 anos depois, a gente estava trabalhando em alguns dos maiores projetos de São Francisco e Dubai.
Nesses projetos encontramos desafios enormes, projetos em grandes escalas, onde tivemos que desenvolver modelos de cidade em prazos recordes. Antes disso, trabalhávamos numa escala menor, que eu chamo de a escala do artista e seu computador, era no máximo uma equipe de 3 pessoas. Com esses trabalhos, tivemos que aprender a trabalhar com um grupo grande de pessoas, fizemos um grande recrutamento, trabalhando com gente ao redor do mundo. E tivemos que criar sistemas para que esse trabalho funcionasse. Então, cada pessoa recebia seu arquivo devidamente posicionado e trabalhava de maneira que tudo funcionasse no final, mesmo trabalhando de forma separada. Então, com isso, a gente conseguiu garantir que esse prazo recorde fosse atingido e possibilitou com que a gente conseguisse renderizar esse filme sem grandes problemas, né? Foi mais ou menos nessa época que começamos a utilizar o V-Ray. O V-Ray já era conhecido como um dos melhores renderizadores da época, ou talvez o mais realista, e nos surpreendeu também a forma como ele reagia muito bem à alta contagem poligonal, bom gerenciamento de memória, carregamento de texturas. Então, para nós, o V-Ray foi um grande parceiro nesse momento aí de vários projetos acontecendo no mercado internacional. Não, uma coisa legal de dividir com vocês é um pouco de como se comporta o processo de vendas do mercado imobiliário brasileiro. O nível de investimentos em plantões de venda é algo gigantesco. Cada plantão tenta ser um maior do que o outro, e nós, na Neorama, participamos muito desse movimento, onde esse nível de investimento foi crescendo exponencialmente nos últimos anos, né? Então, uma experiência muito legal de contar foi um plantão do chamado Parque da Cidade, o projeto Parque da Cidade, onde nós tivemos que participar, junto com outra empresa que fez toda a parte de programação de projetores, da criação de um domo 360. Isso foi algo fantástico. Assim, a gente estava falando de se sentir dentro do empreendimento, porque era um grande domo 360, onde nós fomos responsáveis por fazer o conteúdo desse filme, e eles te colocava dentro do empreendimento, era praticamente uma nave espacial. O formato era um formato, para quem viu o X-Men, parecido com o cérebro do X-Men, claro, com uma escala um pouco menor. As pessoas realmente se sentiram no local, e isso aconteceu muito antes de surgir óculos de realidade virtual, sabe? Então, era uma tentativa de trazer a experiência de algo novo para as pessoas, sem ainda todos os recursos que existem hoje, sabe?
Na verdade, a gente sempre buscou qualidade e inovação e a gente sempre viu isso muito presente no nosso DNA. Desde os primeiros filmes fly-through inteiramente em 3D, passando por inserções de chroma key, live action, até efeitos mais complexos de fluidos, partículas, que não são novidade alguma em publicidade ou cinema, mas que para o mercado imobiliário representam uma grande inovação. A gente busca estar naquela fronteira entre comunicação, cinema e arquitetura, para que o audiovisual consiga potencializar o projeto arquitetônico e, em alguns casos, consiga até mesmo posicionar o projeto. Quando iniciamos um projeto audiovisual, a gente quer fazer algo incrível, algo inovador, algo diferente, algo que nunca foi visto. Nós nos perguntamos como vamos contar a história real daquele empreendimento, aliando diferentes disciplinas e pensando nos canais de forma integrada. Isso, hoje, é o que a gente chama de narrativas audiovisuais. A Neorama desenvolve projetos de narrativas audiovisuais.
Sempre a gente conversa com outras pessoas, as pessoas me perguntam às vezes: Ernani, por que a Neorama não busca uma identidade visual para suas imagens? Alguém que veja uma imagem e diga, essa é uma imagem Neorama. Eu nunca consegui acreditar muito nisso pelo perfil dos clientes que a gente atende. Porque isso é muito... O que domina a linguagem das nossas imagens é a campanha, é o perfil do público, né, do empreendimento, um pouco da vontade do cliente também. Cada cliente tem um gosto um pouco diferente. E a gente tenta entender a cabeça desse cliente, tudo que está por trás desse projeto, e a linguagem escolhida é a linguagem que melhor vai ajudar a contar essa história por trás disso, sabe? Então, já trabalhamos imagens muito realistas, trabalhamos imagens com um perfil um pouco mais fantasia, como a gente fala, imagens extremamente saturadas e coloridas, outras um pouco com um perfil mais frio, que se comporta um pouco mais parecido com linguagens da Europa. Mas eu te digo que a Neorama, eu tenho meu gosto pessoal, mas a Neorama não se prende à linguagem somente por identidade de marca. A linguagem que o que domina é a vontade, é o perfil, é a característica do empreendimento. Algo interessante assim que eu gostaria de dividir com vocês, acho que agora pode, né? É tudo Chaos Group, né? Porque quando começamos a testar o Corona, o Ricardo e Eloy, que está nos apresentando agora, ele ficou um pouquinho chateado comigo porque a gente estava falando em substituir o V-Ray. Mas assim, o primeiro teste que eu fiz com o Corona, eu senti muita liberdade. Eu me sentia um pouco mais artista e menos técnico. Eu consegui me soltar um pouco mais e me prender nas características de iluminação, na fotografia. Existiam ferramentas, quando o Corona foi lançado, muito interessantes, que era o render interativo, e isso dá muita liberdade para o artista. A simplificação dos materiais, os materiais trabalhavam de forma muito real e relativamente simples. O Light Mix também abriu uma porta para um pouco mais de testes, a gente conseguiu chegar para o cliente com imagens noturnas, diurnas e fazer essa variação de maneira muito rápida. Então, há uns 3, 4 anos atrás, mais ou menos, depois de muito teste, a gente acabou optando por migrar do V-Ray para o Corona. E fiquei muito feliz em saber que a Chaos Group acabou adquirindo o Corona e está dando esse desenvolvimento nele também que o software merece.
Hoje a gente está vivendo um contexto completamente diferente. Todos nós estamos vivendo esse grande contexto. O Brasil foi um dos países que mais sofreram com a pandemia. O primeiro passo foi pensar na saúde da equipe. E para isso foi fundamental a remotização. Em tempo recorde, a gente conseguiu remotizar 100% da força de trabalho. Com a operação funcionando a pleno e com todo mundo trabalhando conectado, com artistas trabalhando ao redor do mundo inteiro, a gente conseguiu oferecer também aos nossos clientes novas formas de pensar a remotização da experiência do plantão de vendas.
Toda essa trajetória é fruto de dedicação e do trabalho de todas as pessoas que compõem a nossa equipe. Quando a gente fala no olhar Neorama, a gente não está falando somente do olhar do Ernani, do Cassio ou de qualquer outra pessoa que passou por dentro da equipe Neorama. É fruto de um trabalho coletivo, dessa equipe maravilhosa e multidisciplinar que trabalha com muita paixão todos os dias.
Cada novo projeto é uma oportunidade de alcançarmos patamares cada vez mais altos e continuarmos inovando.
Este é o DNA da Neorama.
So congratulations, Cassio and Ernani. Amazing work, amazing presentation.
Really nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
really amazing work out there. And the music here in private, Andre was having a small dance, enjoying too much with his beer. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Please do not forget to like the button if you enjoyed the video. We really appreciate it. So, Ricardo, what do you think?
Well, I think we have to move on. But first, I just received a picture of our show, and I'm not sure this qualifies for the raffle. I'm not sure you guys can see it. Let me see if I can zoom it.
You are really man.
Yeah, I don't think that qualifies for the raffle anyway, but I thought it was worth mentioning. So, as we said before, we have a pretty packed event now, and I'd like to call for Luciano Neves's video from ClanVFX. Do we have them already?
Let's see if the guys at the production are already ready. If not, let talk a little bit. If anyone have
All
any
right, yeah.
question.
Oh, there you go.
It's live. Let's go. Enjoy.
Hi guys, here's Luciano Neves from ClanVFX. It's an honor to be here with you today. Thank you very much, Mr. Eloy and the Chaos Group. Let's talk about the VFX. Bom, desculpa eu falar em português agora, mas é que eu gostaria de que o mundo conhecesse um pouquinho da língua portuguesa também. Muito obrigado pelo convite, Chaos Group e Eloy. A gente vai falar do tema solucionando problemas com arte, tecnologia e muita criatividade. Na verdade, na nossa área, eu acho que já há algum tempo a gente vem solucionando muitos problemas mais do que qualquer outra coisa. Então, eu acredito que com a experiência de 20 anos no mercado, eu possa trazer um pouquinho para vocês, um pouco da parte técnica, um pouquinho, eu vou demonstrar aqui para vocês um pouco como a gente faz com a parte criativa também, como a gente desenvolve os comerciais, filmes para TV, Netflix também a gente trabalha. Então eu gostaria de mostrar para vocês alguns detalhes técnicos. Bom, na verdade eu não considero problema, porque eu acho que faz parte mais de uma evolução da área do que qualquer outra coisa. Eu acho que com relação a prazos, que eu julgo como problema, são coisas relacionadas a prazo. Eu acho que todos enfrentam isso no mundo inteiro, para desenvolver a sua arte, para desenvolver o VFX. Então, menos prazo, menos dinheiro. Então, eu acho que essa é a causa do problema todo e uma constante reclamação do mercado. Mas eu vejo isso como até parte da evolução. Entendeu? A gente tem que entregar coisas mais rápidas, coisas com a mesma qualidade. Enfim, ainda mais no ano de 2020 a gente acabou provando bastante disso. Então, eu acho que isso não vai mudar. Isso faz parte da evolução. Eu acho que a tendência é essa mesmo, mais rápido. Então, como resolver esse problema de prazo versus dinheiro versus arte e conseguir conciliar tudo isso? Então, durante esses 20 anos meus de carreira, eu passei por várias etapas de desenvolvimento de projetos em que a constância era a diminuição de prazo e a redução, obviamente, da verba dentro de comerciais, enfim, de qualquer produção de VFX. Né? Então isso é uma tendência de fato e vamos ver o que a gente eu consigo demonstrar para vocês aqui com relação a isso, qual a nossa solução. Não é uma solução mágica, obviamente, a gente ainda está aprendendo, mas eu acho que vale a pena. É menos tempo e menos dinheiro. Então, como a gente resolve isso? Eu acho que a gente tem que anteceder o problema. Então, aqui na Clan, o que a gente faz? A gente tenta anteceder o máximo possível dos problemas, conseguindo um briefing melhor e ajudando no desenvolvimento do comercial de início, com direção de arte, com uma pré-produção muito bem feita. Então, para resolver esse problema de prazo, a gente tenta fazer dessa maneira, entendeu? Quanto melhor, mais bem feito o briefing, quanto melhor a pré-produção, mais rápido vai sair o comercial. Consegue-se viabilizar mais apresentações de work in progress e por aí vai. Eu acho que com relação à tecnologia, alguns bons anos atrás, não havia a tecnologia que a gente tem hoje. Então, hoje é possível você desenvolver uma imagem como essa, que eu acho que dá para mostrar aqui para vocês, que eu fiz há alguns anos atrás, alguns bons 10 anos atrás, e ela levava em média 2 dias para fazer o render dela, um dia talvez inteiro para fazer o render dessa imagem. Então, hoje em dia, uma imagem dessa leva quanto tempo? Em média 30 minutos, 1 hora no máximo, se você fizer uma setagem boa, de qualidade. Então, com relação a tempo, a gente ganhou muito com a tecnologia. Então, isso é bem visível, vou mostrar para vocês tecnicamente isso, o que ajuda com relação a prazo. Então, a maneira que a Clan, a gente resolve dentro aqui da nossa produção, é justamente isso, usar a tecnologia a nosso favor, para conseguir reduzir o máximo de prazo possível dentro das possibilidades, obviamente.
To make a creative image or movie I draw, first of all I do a quick sketch, something like this, and here I can decide almost all information I will need as a color, composition and camera. I call this the brainstorm painting, or as you know, the concept art. And here I can decide what mood I wish to have, cold or warm palette. Here in this case I will have a cold palette color because we have snow in the mountains. For example, I have sky, clouds and rocks here. The composition scene is also important because this will tell where our eyes will look first. For example, here I have this point and I have this mountain here. And then inside the concept art I also can tell where the sunlight will come. In this case from the left to the right side. And the sun will be here. And they will hit the mountains here, this side. And maybe we will have a big shadow in this part. And also I can make a camera, what kind of camera I will have. Maybe a 15 millimeters or 100 millimeters. If it will have fog or wind, the clouds will move around here, and maybe we can have some kind of smoke in this part going down. This is the sketch ideas. This is my first step before I start everything in 3D. Okay, now we have these quick ideas. We can start to paint and make this beautiful scene. And let's see how we can make this. I can put another layer here, and let's hide the ideas. Start to paint. How I told before, this is gonna be a code palette color. Maybe the shadow will be this blue. You can start paint here. This is gonna be the shadow. Maybe we can red paint where the sunlight will hit. Of course, this shadow is about the snow shadow, because we will have the rocks here, and maybe it will be more dark than this shadow. Sometimes I make the big shapes, but sometimes before decide what kind of light I will have, I prefer to make a small part. The important here is you have to capture what you have in your mind, your ideas. Okay, we have our first look. Okay, now let's jump inside this 3D software. Here I'm going to show you how to assemble this scene. It's so simple. Let's always work smart. First of all, check which angle of the camera you will must have for your scene. For sure, will give you more time to be creative. Here, for example, I just have some pieces. What exactly my camera will show. I'm inside the 3D Studio Max with V-Ray, of course, for rendering, and viewport B in IPR mode. With IPR mode, we have a real-time light response that make you free for artistic adjustment. By the way, you can make a download from these 3D rocks from Quixel Mega Scans, and over there you will have the high resolution, low resolution, medium resolution, textures, everything you need. And the Quixel works with V-Ray very well. Can you see this rock? Here I think this being low resolution. You don't need to download everything in high resolution. After we fix the camera and 3D model, shaders and the light, let's begin the simulations. For this kind of simulation I used Phoenix FD. Easy to use and incredible and faster results. I made two kinds of simulation here. One for fog, of kind of smoke going down to the mountain, and another one with particles with almost the same animation. I set the time scale very low to give me a sensation of a big scale scene, how you can see. It is a cold smoke, then the smoke must go down. I set the wind and the turbulence to give me a beautiful design, and in some parts the smoke fly a little bit. I'm going to show you the smoke that I render, and you will can see the final result. Here you can see the rendering with V-Ray. You can see how the smoke fly and have a big turbulence and touch the rocks. Here you see the particles. I make some changes about the turbulence, and here the viewport. It's not the render. Beautiful particles and animation, isn't it? Okay, now it's time to see a beautiful scene with all composition and all layers together. I painted by myself this sky, and I made 2D animation in the clouds and as a distortion, slow distortion. As you can see here, I made cinematic color correction to looks like a movie trailer. Now scene is bluish, a little bit of green. Now you can understand why it's so important to make concept art before, because you have a shortcut when you start to make a 3D, because everything will be in your mind.
Yeah, amazing work.
Amazing presentation.
Yeah, I believe the people at home is a bit speechless and mind blowing because what we just watched was really amazing. So I don't know how the people everywhere is feeling, but I don't have words for what I just watched. It was really awesome.
Yeah, Luciano's work is just awesome. It is mind blowing, and the fact that he does all the concept art for
E aí,
his all
pessoal,
the
tudo bem?
jobs and does
Meu
it
nome é Ernani
at such
Cravo,
a
eu sou
high
sócio e
quality.
diretor
It's
de
just
produção da Neorama.
it is mind blowing. I'm speechless. I'm actually, and I know I've known him for like 10, 20 years now, and I'm still speechless by his work. So
Yeah, for me it was the first time, so you already know how I feel. So, Ricardo, do you want to jump again to the giveaways to remind everyone at home?
yes, we need to remind everyone that we do have giveaways, and we have two fronts for that. We have a social media giveaway with the hashtag 24 hours of chaos where you post your selfie or a picture of you watching our show, and you can win some very nice prizes. We have Chaos Group notebooks, Chaos Group V-Ray t-shirts, mouse pads, glass cleaning tissues, canvas bags, you name it. And also we have a raffle going on as well. You have to go to chaosgroup.com/24 hours chaos giveaway. You have the link right here. Let me see if I can point it correctly.
Yeah,
I'm probably pointing the wrong way. Oh,
no,
I got
perfect.
it correctly.
It's perfect, yeah.
I'm such a professional. And you just fill out the form and you enter to win licenses from Chaos Group, Autodesk, Science Software, and tickets for Creative Lighting's Light Mix class, which is really classy collection of prizes. So for our next guest, Pedro?
For the next guest, we have Christopher Malheiros from Portugal. He'll be speaking really, really soon. And I hope everyone will enjoy it as well. He's an ArchViz artist. He have a company based in Lisbon. So let's move forward. Christopher, are you here? Great. You need your mic. Amazing.
Tá bom agora?
Yeah, it's amazing. Perfect. So, do you want to share, starting to speak about you and the company and the Chaos Group? Will deliberate everything for graphics, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yeah, we are watching. Probably, yeah, it's ready. When you want to start, just do it, Christopher. Thanks.
Okay. So, hi guys. Is this good? Is this looking good? Okay, it is. So my name is Christopher, and I've been working on the field for a few years now. Our company name is Fiction Studio, and we're actually based in Paris and Lisbon now, actually, since a few months now. And yeah, I'm gonna start by letting you guys know a bit of ourselves. So I started like this. This was done like I don't know, in 2008 or something. These were actually the first renders that I actually got paid, and they actually paid me with this book, El Croquis Sana. So this doesn't seem really nice, but actually I like to start with this because before showing you what we do, I like to show you how we started, because you know, you have to climb a lot of steps to get where we're now, which is more or less here. Basically, I started doing images like 10 years ago. Yeah, I studied architecture like many of you guys. And I worked for a year in the Netherlands as an architect. And, you know, this was like 2009, 2010. This was the crisis time. And I got kind of in between jobs. And there was this chance to go work to Luxigon in Paris. And I thought like, okay, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. And then I started little by little. I was a freelance, and some of you guys might know I was using this C Malheiros nickname or whatever. And a few years ago, I decided to change to a more corporate name, which is Fiction Studio. So actually, back in 2010, when there was this chance to do 3D, I was an architect, and I was really enjoying doing 3D, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do as a job. So this was something I was saying, like, okay, I don't want to work as a 3D artist. I'll do it for a while, and then I'll go back to architecture. And I don't know, after like a year, I was working in ArchViz. I was just saying like, okay, I don't want to work as an architect. And possibly like a year later, I really decided that I was going to do this not all my life, but for some time. And I've been doing it till now. So I want to start talking about where do we get our inspiration, because I think it's really important. And I think many people here copy other 3D artists. And actually, we do it also at Fiction. But I want to show you this. This is an image we did a few years ago. And this is actually some guys that actually they copied my image. They were just taking this render and redoing everything from scratch. And I thought this was unbelievable. And I wrote their names. This is like their Instagram names, because they tagged us. And so yeah, this is a way of saying thank you, because once you get actually copied, I think there's nothing else to do in your life. Like you're at the top of the business. So it's weird to make jokes, and actually I have to laugh myself because no one else is laughing. So yeah, I'll just continue with this weird silence. And so we actually, at Fiction, we decided to copy other artists that aren't 3D artists. So we really like to check photography. So basically on the left of your screen is a render we did, and on the right is our inspiration. And we really like to check photographies and to try to get as close as we can from moods that we see online. We also like to find inspiration from cinema or animations, anything. It could be the mood or just the perspective or an idea, concept, anything. And the third thing is art. We really like art and to check what's going around. So yeah, this more or less a few of the inspirations we try to copy outside of other 3D artists. So now I want to talk about what we're gonna speak tonight. So this is actually, now we're living weird times with this COVID and all these things. And I thought it would be interesting to talk about sports or events or art or whatever, because these are the most affected now during this coronavirus thing. So we've been working a lot in this kind of projects for the last years, stadiums, sports, some art museums, galleries, and all these things. So I thought like maybe we should talk about this a little bit. So I'm just going to show you how we kind of work. And I want to start with a question that we really get very often is, why do we use Photoshop? And when they ask me this question, I just want to answer like what a stupid question you're asking me, because for me it seems just silly to ask why I use Photoshop. And maybe the answer should be like just showing you this image. This is on the left, it's just a raw render, and on the right, this is what was done in Photoshop. And I think this kind of answers for now. Now I'm just gonna speak about these are two images we did recently, and I'm just gonna do a little breakdown of what we did in Photoshop. By the way, I realized that this is a Chaos Group 3D software company event, but I'm gonna speak about 2D, I'm sorry, but you'll have 24 hours of people speaking about 3D, so I guess I'll be the only one talking about Photoshop. So I'm gonna start with this soccer stadium image. This is designed by Populous, and this is a stadium in the US. And this is basically the final render. And I'm going to show you, this is the raw render. So basically what we do for this kind of images, they of course they want really moody, full of people render. So what we usually do is try to get this flat light, and then we compose it in Photoshop. And we had like this people on the crowd is actually added in 3D because we use it as a mask after for Photoshop to add people in Photoshop. So basically, I'm just gonna show you like this is like a making of a few steps what we do in Photoshop. So the first thing is try to get the sky. Basically, they wanted the sky with stars. So yeah, that's why you see the stars. It could have been anything else, but yeah. So then we start working on the crowd. Basically, what we do is just we take photos of soccer stadiums or whatever stadiums, and we try using the mask of the people in 3D just to compose it. So basically, you can see here on the left, this, you know, there's the mask, and then we just add photos. We try to compose. You can see that maybe it kind of repeats itself over there in the background where under the screen, but we'll just, these things that are gonna be fixed after in Photoshop. Then another step is just like we have the volumetric lights from the raw render. So we just boost them, we improve them a little bit in Photoshop and try to get some effects. We added some flashlights on the crowd. There's this huge flag that they wanted. And yeah, this is basically what we just work by steps. Maybe this wasn't the order, you know, how we did it, but you know, this is how we basically work. Then we start, you know, composing the foreground, because this is like it's a collage. There's layers and layers of people, and basically this is the foreground, and this is just to show you more and less what we do. This is not just a photo, so I'm just going to show you quickly. You know, this is composition of different photos. We cut them out. As you can see, like I really like this photo. This guy is really excited about his soccer team winning, but unfortunately we couldn't show him, so it will be covered later. But this is basically, you know, it's just like trying to get things right with the composition and all these steps until we get more and less the image that you can see here. And then like we just add some final adjustments. Yeah, there's like some confettis, a lot of flags. They wanted flares, you know, and there's the game going on with the players. So this is a lot of work in Photoshop, and I think we couldn't have done this without Photoshop. Yeah, this is just to show you the image in a higher resolution, so you can see a bit more zoomed. Maybe it doesn't look as great when you look at it like this, but yeah, basically this is it. And next, I'm gonna show you this basketball game image that we did for SCO. This is a French company, and this project is in Paris. They actually won the competition, and they're gonna build this stadium for the next Olympic Games that probably will be in Paris. So this is a stadium from Paris Basketball. It's the basketball team from Paris, and they asked us for an image. They really wanted this money shot image, this really impressive frontal image with the players. And what they don't realize, and we also really don't realize in the beginning, is that this is really difficult to do, because you need to find the perfect photo of the players. So this has to be a photography taken by someone standing at that place, more or less. And I invite all of you to Google Paris Basketball, because if you Google Paris Basketball, this is actually the name of the team. But Paris Basketball can be a lot of things, and we couldn't actually find any photo of these or a close angle of this. So they had to, the architects, they went to a game and they took photos for us. So they were really nice, and we could use all these pictures for the composition. Basically, this is all the layers we used. So I didn't count them, but I think there's like I don't know, like 200 or even more. You can you guys can count them later. So this is the raw render. Basically, we just render the image with the same kind flat of image light. People are actually 3D, and we actually did a few render regions because we wanted to tweak the light. So we added the spotlights on the ceiling, and then well, we just boosted the reflection on the field to make it more realistic. Then we started composing. So the 3D people were just a mask to start composing with the real people. We just found photos on internet. And then yeah, flares, lights effects. We started adding the crowd, you know, in the foreground near this was really important on the left. This was the VIP lounge, so they really wanted to showcase this place. And then the players, and I just wanted to show you more in detail, like these players, how we did it, because these are several photos, and you can see we made the reflections by hand after, and you can see how many layers we had to use just to get the reflections right. Like it's actually a lot of work, but it's not difficult. It's just you have to be precise, and yeah, and then once you get everything right, it just works well. And then yeah, this is the image then zoomed. You can see like all these people, they're really happy, and we tried to make the reflections correctly and everything. And yeah, I think in the end it turned out really good. This is the image with the final adjustments. And yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to show you. And this is why we use Photoshop, you know. And when they ask me why do you use Photoshop, I just want to answer like, why don't you? And I just want to say that, you know, this is we can do this because also the 3D renderings that we actually use Corona, and it's amazing. Corona is amazing, and it's I think Photoshop is a really good software to just complement what you do in the 3D. So yeah, that was it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Hi, Christoph. Yes, we have a few questions, but we are running out of the time for the other
Yeah.
guests. We have a question from Nigel, but I will write you and answer to Nigel, or you can go to the YouTube chat and speak with him because it's really awesome question. Okay. So,
Okay.
Ricardo, do you want to do the next presentation for our next guest, please?
Sure. Now I have the honor to introduce one of my friends from 3D, which I had the opportunity to finally meet last year at Unhide, which was an event here in Brazil, Mr. Santiago Sanchez, who is muted right now.
Yeah, Santiago mute.
Hello
There
guys,
you
can you hear
go.
me? Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
now
very
we can
much,
hear
Ricardo.
you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Actually, it's a huge honor being amongst all these great artists. Thank you very much for the invitation. And yeah, I think I'm going to a very interesting topic that I would like to discuss tonight. So just let me go my presentation. 1 second, please. And there you go. Okay, now I think I have to stop. Yeah, 1 second, please. I'm going to share my screen right now. So, me know, please, if you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's already on. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so let's start right now the presentation, and I'm going to just, yeah, there you go. Everything is good. The audio, the video, everything is good. Okay,
Perfect.
Great. So I would like to talk about a very, very important topic that basically I started to research mostly in the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. And the very first time that I started to work with Corona, because actually I was a VR user my entire career. So I've been working in the ArchViz industry for the last almost 10 years, more or less. And as an online teacher or mentor, I've been working for the last 8 years, right? So yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, right? Great. So talking about the artistic approach, I think one of the most important things that we have to take in consideration at the moment that we have to start a project, of course, is the research, right? Um, I think it's really important sometimes not only emphasize the searching in how can I say, like a more modern sources of information. So most of the time, I think we can find amazing approach if we just take a look to the past. So basically, that is one of my favorite like hobbies. I like to study from the past, like I don't know, like painters from 300 or 400 years ago. And actually, it's really surprising the amount of not only techniques, because of course there is no comparison, right? With right now we have software and hardware, and of course there is no comparison like 200, 300 years ago, right? Everything was done by hand. But in terms of the approach, we can find a lot of interesting things. So I think we have to take these as inspirational resources, right? Because I think at the moment that you start to go deeply and you just start to dissect an image and just try to understand what is behind the image, not only the technical approach but in the artistic approach, we can take advantage of that kind of knowledge, and just basically it's an unlimited amount of options that we can apply directly in any image, no matter if it's exterior or interior, right? The artistic reference, I think, are absolutely better than only trying to get inspiration from single pictures. Or most of the time, as Christopher mentioned before, we have a lot of CG heroes, right? I think that is kind of common, but um, I think the more artistic it is a reference, in terms of how the expression is, you can find a lot of expression image, the better is going to be the result, right? So this is, like, for example, a couple of images like I would like to share with you that most of the time for me is just pure gold, right? In terms of approach, every single time that I would like to study reference, this is the starting point to me, right? There's the kind of things where this is the kind of things where I can find a lot of interesting things. For example, how the artists they use the color in order to express the mood, how the artists establish the composition in order to take or put attention in a specific part of the image. So this has to be, I think, the starting point every single time, right? Um, Talking about the project itself, I think we have to try to do an adaptation. I try to balance the requirements from the client side and our own thoughts about the project, right? Most of the time, it's really hard to try to get a good deal because clients are more focused in budget optimization, right? And that basically it's not a good sign. So I think um, as a professional, as an artist, we have to try to reach this balance between what the client requirements are and what is our own perception about the project, right? Um, one of the most important things in every single image is about the storytelling and expression. Uh, Nowadays, we can find amazing architectural visualization projects from the technical point of view are absolutely perfect, right? But they are soulless. You don't feel anything when you see. You just are amazing, just because how perfect the technical side was done, and that's it. But I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, it's amazing to see how artists push to the limits all the technical approach. But in my opinion, I think the expression it's super necessary in order to create a link with the audience, with the people who is going to see your images, right? And of course, the light and the color, it's super important, right? So this is a couple of images that I developed for a personal project, for commercial project, where basically I'm just trying to find that balance between create something with a commercial base, we can say, but at the same time trying to introduce that, I don't know, like super accurate amount of expression in order to create this link with the people, right? And I don't know, you can give it an adjective, and basically that is the idea, right? Um, Most of the time is this is the real struggle, right? So which path I have to take? Go entirely for a commercial approach, or go entirely into artistic approach, right? And this is very difficult, as I mentioned before. Depends of the client and also depends of the project. But as I mentioned before, no matter how is going to be the development of the project or the image, let's try to balance and try to introduce like a 50-50. I think basically that could be a very smart approach. Okay. Most of the time, I think the commercial approach is related about try to sell an intangible, right? Like try to sell the characteristics of the architecture, try to sell, I don't know, the materials, the furniture. But when you start to introduce like a very specific artistic approach, it's not necessary anymore just, I don't know, like only try to achieve a description, a very descriptive style. I think it's even important rather than that, try to sell the experience, try to sell the experience. So how is it going to be like, for example, how is it going to be like live in a place like this? I mean, that is going to be even more interesting to the final client. But of course, every single time it is necessary to introduce a commercial image in order to like the final client can understand how their architecture is going to look on the end. So the artistic approach is based more in a very subjective language, you know. So it's very personal, okay. And of course, at the end of the day, the idea is just try to get a good deal and try to introduce also your own thoughts and your own ideas about the project, okay. Um, as a final, I think as a final comments and suggestions, it's always important try to keep very healthy your creativity and innovation. And this is super hard when you work in a studio, because most of the time you are doing like commercial projects like 24/7, and that sometimes could be, I think, because I have so many students that they work for studios. It's kind of frustrating at the end of the day, because they start to feel like they are another tool, you know. And I think in order to avoid this huge problem, the best we can do is try to do personal projects. Personal projects are super important in any CG artist or 3D artist career, because that is the only thing where you're going to basically you're going to put all your passion, all your love, and you're going to put all your potential. And also, this is going to take out of your comfort zone, right? But in the meanwhile, if you're just doing like a 24/7, like only commercial project, your creativity and your innovation basically is going to be very limited, right? One of the most important things that you can do when you start a personal project is about challenge yourself. Try to do or try to create something that you never done before, right? Try to select a very interesting subject that you never seen before in a 3D forum, or you never seen before, I don't know, anywhere on the website, right? This is super important. And at the end, I think um, no matter how many years you're working in this industry, you have to put all your effort when you're doing something, because sometimes only like it is not going to be enough. So I think this phrase basically sums up everything, you know, like do what you love and love what you do. I think that is the best thing that probably you can do. In my personal portfolio that you can find mostly in Behance, I'm not really a huge fan to post commercial projects, but rather than that, I prefer to post, for example, personal projects based on sometimes crazy ideas, crazy concepts that I'm trying to develop every single day in order to keep my creativity alive and also my imagination very very healthy. I think that is the best advices that I can give you right now because in my own personal experience, it's really satisfying when you are working in your own stuff, and at the end, just create something that you like it, no matter if people, I don't know, react in a good and a bad way. At the end of the day, you're doing something that you uh, truly love. I think that is just the best thing that we can do as an artist, and also, of course, in order to keep your creativity, your innovation, and your of course your personal approach alive, because most of the time we want to be like our CG heroes, right? I think that is very common, but you have to realize, and everybody have to realize that you have to be like your own version, like your own best version of yourself. That is my best advice. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. I think that's it.
Congratulations, Santi. Really awesome.
Very
work.
good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So I believe we need to jump already to the other because we are running short on time. We have
Yeah.
45 minutes, 46, 7 minutes to hand it. So the next presentation will be Nuno Silva. We'll do it a pre-recording show, but we'll speak a few minutes now. No, yes, Nuno, yeah. So Nuno will share something with you. So enjoy to the next presentation.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I believe you can start. Yeah.
Just a few things. I firstly really want to thank you to Pedro, Ricardo, and Caos Group for this great effort to join this community and to bring some great ideas and presentations. And I really hope that mine could keep these high expectations that is already super high. So thank you once again. I'm truly sorry for my pre-recorded presentation, but I'm really shy, so it's the best way for me. Thank you. I think you can start.
Yeah, Chaos will start sharing your presentation. Okay. Hope you everyone enjoy at home.
Hi everyone, I'm Nuno, founder of N.U.MA. First, I want to thank you to Pedro Moreira, Ricardo, Eloy, and Caos Group for this invitation and for the opportunity of being in these 24 hours of Caos. Secondly, I really apologize for this presentation being pre-recorded, but I'm really shy and I get really nervous when things don't go as I expect. In any case, I will be online and live for any questions. Thank you for understanding. When I was invited to make this presentation, I decided to bring a topic that I really love, and it is a topic that keeps breathing in this crazy industry. It's our 40 minutes personal project. We are a very small office that was created in 2010, and right now in 2020 we still are a very small office and we want to keep that. We are dedicated to architecture and 3D visualization. That is our two big passions. This is our team, and right now it's just me and Maria, and we decided to keep this small scale because we really like to be part on all the process that both architecture and 3D visualization involves. And when I say be part in all the process, we mean dealing with all the things that an office related to architecture and 3D needs to run. From office management, clients, project management, quotations, contracts, marketing, and so on. And of course, all the creative process that both architecture and 3D visualization demands. And we really like that. But this kind of approach can lead us quickly to stress and tired on the work we do, especially if the work be a routine. Even we have the passion on what we do, both architecture and 3D, sometimes the work and the final result is not what we expect to be, or because the client's strict guidelines or the schedule don't let us do what we really want to do. So in 2017, we decided to bring to our office during the working time some kind of personal projects that could bring us sparks to maintain our passion and in our working days. Because I really believe that if you work without fun and passion, you quickly get tired doing what you do. So for this kind of personal projects, we established some rules. And one of the rules was set a limit of time to produce the image. First, because we are always full of work, and second, because this rule will force us to thinking before execute. And the other rule was that this personal project should not be ArchViz related, because with that will force us also to see other things that are non-related to architecture or ArchViz, for example, like cinema, arts, and photography, and so on. So when for this first rule that we established, the limit of time, we established 1 hour to produce the image, and that is split in two parts. The first part, it is 20 minutes to prepare how we are going to execute the scene, and the last 40 minutes is to execute. And we start always sketching, because I really love to sketch, and that is my best way to write my ideas. And every time I listen or see something that could lead to a good personal project, I try to sketch and try to put that idea in my sketches. And then after that preparation, we step to the computer. I must say that these 40 minutes, we try to maintain these 40 minutes, but sometimes because we want to learn some new technique or learning some new software, the overall time exceeds the 40 minutes, but we try to keep that rule in mind. Sorry. I will show some personal projects. We use also these personal projects to learn things, and especially to learn from mistakes. In this particular case, we learned that we really need to be more smart in this industry. Also use this kind of personal projects to test new techniques, new improvements of V-Ray for Cinema 4D and for upcoming projects. Or using personal projects to test light conditions on specific scenarios, using different approaches. For example, in this case, it was used one single light source, and then we play with white and black panels to help to reflect light and produce shadows to emphasize and to sculpt the shape of the model. or even using personal projects to prepare assets for our library and to make tests to see that everything is ready to use in upcoming projects. Or even to make a tribute, and in this case was a tribute to a Portuguese musician that inspired us, that is João Barradas. This one took a bit more than 40 minutes because we decided to take the final image straight from the V-Ray frame buffer, so we have to learn how to work with volume fog, for example, or lens effects and so on. Also personal projects to show our true inspiration from great artists, and for example in this case Javier Corberó, a Spanish sculptor. Or personal projects to draw attention to the society for things that should be forbidden. Or even draw attention for the fake news that are becoming more and more unbelievable. Also, this personal project took more than 40 minutes because we decided to learn more about physics simulations on Cinema 4D. I think I have a video here without sound. Due to copyright reasons. Some details for this project. And in 2020, this kind of personal projects becomes more serious, mostly because the strange time that we were living and still living, but also because Fabio Palvelli decided to bring some challenge competitions to push and to keep our mind busy. So thanks for that, Fabio. And so the first challenge, like all of them, didn't have any specific rule, and in this case it was using the rule was using a specific model, in this case a Lancia Stratos, and produced the project in 1 week. So we start sketching and decided to put this challenge in one of our 40 minutes project, and in the end it took more than 40 minutes project, but it was really fun. And this project it calls Hope, and it's the story of a father with his son that won the battle on these strange times, and that special car drive them to the end of the journey. We decided to make more images to emphasize the story. Some details showing the really bad year that we are living. And then the final image showing both the characters and the car. I was not secure the overall image could be showed through the jury in the right way, so I decided to create a comic strip, remind me the old times. And there was a lot of quality projects, but I don't know why, but I won this first competition and we were really happy. I could not make all the challenges, but I've made some of them. The next challenge that I participate was the third, and it was a challenge that Fabio asked us to use some of the Star Wars characters, in this case the BB-8, and I called to this story Star Walks, a journey of a dog and its owner in research of happiness. Some details. This was another personal project that we decided to enter the challenge. it was the 7th challenge, and Fabio asked us to create a project using an astronaut model provided by Domenico D'Alisa. And this time it becomes really a personal project because involved my son. I call this work the Space Little Man, a story of a famous astronaut that needs to land when his mother calls him to hit the soup. And this was the last challenge that I participated from Fabio Palvelli. There was not a specific asset to use, and the title was Traveling Cities. And when I saw the challenge, it was almost a flash to me to use this topic to explore some ideas that I have in mind earlier. So I started sketching to write that ideas, and this project it's called Out, and it's the idea of emphasizing some cities or politicians to leave this planet. Unfortunately, we didn't finish the image in time to deliver, but we decided to finish later to be part of the book Great Talks about Photorealism, Volume 2, that we are going to participate. We have a lot of ideas to put on these 40 minutes projects, and we want to try to make more and more this kind of personal projects. We just need to find the right way to fit in our busy days. Because for us, this is the way to keep us motivated doing what we really love and to keep us breathing in this industry. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thanks for listening. If you want, you can find us here in these links. So thank you. Cheers from Portugal.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes, Nuno, congrats.
Crazy presentation, Nuno. Congratulations. We got a comment on YouTube saying that I can't believe he did some of those in 40 minutes. I was like, yeah, right.
I must say that some of them were not made in 40 minutes. It took more time than 40 minutes. But we try to maintain the 40 minutes time.
It takes me 40 times to dress in the morning, so that's lightning fast. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was awesome, as expected, of course. And let's move on with our show. We have now our next guest. It's a pre-recorded presentation because his sister just delivered a baby last night, so he couldn't make it today to join us live. It's Alencar from Oficina 3D.
So I believe the people will really enjoy it because a lot of them on the chat are already typing render people is something
render people,
and they're doing on Instagram and YouTube. So let's hope everyone will really enjoy it as well.
Fala, render people! Alencar here, and I'm here today to talk about what nobody ever told you about ArchViz. Yes, what nobody ever told you about ArchViz. Well, when we think about 3D art and ArchViz, we probably start thinking about the art, the technique, softwares, and all the skills that an artist have to reach to achieve high quality and a successful career, right? But as important as the artistic and technical skills are those points that I will mention today. And the first one is passion. Passion and love drive people to do crazy things, really. Like, for example, passion for ArchViz makes you work all night long building walls and furnitures on a computer. Or worse than that, passion for 3D could lock you in a room on a sunny day to study unwrap map. You see, passion, it's crazy. But the same passion about what you love to do gives a chance to the artist to achieve the next level. It's the passion that makes you deliver yourself. Put a lot of energy into something. Consequently, you will get a chance to be better than the others. And then stand out yourself and your art given to you realization. Number 2, creativity. If you stop to thinking about it, it's probably possible to create a 3D scene using only a dozen of commands, maybe more. But if you have creativity, you can combine those commands to create amazing scenes and renderings. The creativity is the key point to be free to create all you want. The creativity to see and perceive in the real world the elements like shadows, shaders, shadows and lights, right? Compositions, camera framing actually, and translate and transpound all those observations from the real world into the scene, making an original and unique piece of art, using your own vision from that. Right? Number 3, intelligence. Why intelligence? You are smart if you learn from your mistakes and fails. But you are truly intelligent if you are able to learn from the mistakes from the others. And how can we do that? Oh, it is not from today that to have a tutor makes all the difference on the path of those who want to grow professionally, right? Be intelligent and humble enough to understand it and search for a professional that have more experience than you, where you can learn from, certainly will speed up your goals. Number 4, sympathy. Sympathy. You can't go far alone. Many artists like to work, like to study, to create, just alone. And that's no problem with that. But in some point, to make money, you will need clients. And to have clients, it is easier if you have sympathy. Doesn't matter if your client is your boss or your director or your client. Heavy sympathy will show if you are that person everybody wants to work with, or that kind of person nobody wants near. So, being polite, having empathy makes all the difference. Some artists could think that their work will talk for itself, but it's not true. The people have to work with you, not with your work. So, work with you have to be cool and pleasant, right? Showing an interested and helpful person is essential for the success. And now we talk about number 5. That is integrity. The more integrity you have, the more trust people will have in you. So great and big jobs will come, and consequently, more money you get. Integrity, this divide boys from men, girls from women. Really, always be honest, even in times when everything went wrong. For example, if it's not possible to deliver some that you promised to your client, let them know. Don't run away. Answer the phone, please. I know nobody likes to hear rough talk, but unfortunately, it is necessary. Let your clients know that you are interested in learning from these mistakes to ensure it that doesn't happen again. Integrity makes you go far, right? Now, you can probably ask me, okay, if I focus it on those 5 points, can I be successful and make money in ArchViz? The answer is no. This is not enough. But the point is, without that, you will not. Without those 5 points, you will not go far enough to be successful, to make money, and be realized on your work. Okay? So, what we are missing? What we are missing? So, last but not least, portfolio. Portfolio is essential to get a job, to get clients. And now I will try some tips that I can talk about portfolio today. Only tips, okay? For me, presentation is important. Not just the renderings, but also the layout. Everything has to be beautiful because looking at your portfolio, people will know about your aesthetic notion. It means that you have to put energy in the content, but also how the content is organized in your portfolio. Another tip, portfolio has to be clear and light. The more easy to open and understand, the more chance to be noticed. Next, you have to show interest in that specific client or studio. Make a portfolio for that company you want to work with. So do not use the same portfolio for all companies, because who will contract you want to feel that you know them and would like to work there. Okay? Now the tip, put only your best work on your portfolio. In this case, less is more. Really, it's better to have 5 amazing renderings than 50 sucks. Show your best, do your best. So, all those points that I mentioned today are very simple, right? But not easy, especially if you are not passionate about what you do. But if you have passion for what you do, it becomes soft. Finally, find some that makes you feel fulfilled. Put all your energy into that. This makes you the best in that. No one is the best in the world at something without enjoying doing that. Think about it. Are you doing what you really love for living? That's it, guys. Thank you so much to be here today. Thank you, Chaos Group, for this amazing event. Thank you, Ricardo, Eloy, for inviting me to talk today. So, see you guys. I hope these tips help you on your ArchViz career. Bye.
All right, all right. That was Ander Alencar from Oficina 3D. Thank you, Ander, and congratulations to your sister on the new baby. We have the results for the raffle here. We just got in, and the winner of the raffle was Matheus Nascimento from Brazil. Congratulations, Matheus.
Yeah,
You just
parabéns.
won a lot of prizes here. Just to remember you guys, for the raffles we have an annual Chaos license, one annual 3S Max license, one annual Shiny software license, and one ticket for Creative Lighting's Light Mix class. So congratulations, Matheus. And for the do we have the hashtag campaign winner?
Yeah, we have already the hashtag campaign winner. Is Christopher Oberschlick. Sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, but you are the winner for the giveaway. You will get some t-shirts, mouse pads, everything from Chaos. So get in touch with them, okay? So now we have the next speaker will be Andre Matos. Andre, hope you are ready, okay? So we will be live now. So let's go.
It's now.
Yeah, it's live. Are you taking a picture to us? It's so lovely. So lovely.
Go on, just bring it on.
Okay, let's go. Let's move forward. We're short of time.
Come on, Andre. Let's go, man.
Yeah, we're just gonna go straightforward and just press play. I apologize for pre-recording it, but somehow we had to do it. Okay?
Okay.
Go on, just press the play. Oh yeah. I have to say that somehow I feel a little bit nostalgic to be here in my office and not in Sofia right now, having tons of fun with the Chaos family somehow. But well, nevertheless, 2020, right? Yeah, so here we are. It was quite of an unexpected invite to have this 24 hours of chaos. This was in such a short term, like I was invited almost like I think that everybody was invited on like last minute. So I kind of had to struggle to find out something to talk about, and I decided to jump into something such as Cuda versus Optix. Why? Because of my first impressions after this lockdown, because I spent like at least like 4 to 5 months without doing anything, because I'm doing like trade communication as most part of so I can even just probably this is better. So I kind of do like trade communication, and for people that know me, they kind of know that I always have to deal with huge render sizes. For people that don't know me, so this is kind of the stuff that I'm doing, and there's a big demand in render power, so I kind of shifted all my attention a few years ago into GPU rendering, and this is one of the main topics that I'm going to talk right now. It's the progress that I felt after coming back from my lockdown, because I have 2 different generations of GPUs here, and for the first time I felt a huge impact in the Optix way to do things. And this is another image, and I always need to get clean renders, because somehow the motion that we do for every single video, it's kind of slow, because it's almost like a separator between the main movies, and it's big and it's huge, and everything needs to be clean somehow. I need to clean the render, I need to clean the noise, sorry, and make sure that everything fits on place. Literally that's what I'm doing for a living. And sometimes no, most part of the times we have like 3 to 4 chapters, so I need to do 3 to 4 movies in a matter of like 2 or 3 months, so it's kind of always like in a rough schedule. And right now I'm doing
auto Beijing, that it's gonna happen in 2 weeks. And I noticed something crazy, you know, like I noticed that my personal workstation was rendering faster than one of my render slaves for the first time, and I kind of felt that okay, I need to figure out what's wrong or what's good. I thought there was something wrong with the slaves. I thought like, oh well, the render times they don't really change that much, but on my personal workstation they changed. So why? Because I felt for the first time and on my scenes that the RT cores were actually really making a huge difference on my renders. So, and what I wanted to say is that the above machine, it's my personal workstation, and this one over here, it's my farm, and I can even show the specs, you know. So just to make sure that we, let me just type in device manager. So. Yeah, so on this specific machine here, I have 8 1080 Ti's, and that's one of the slaves. And on my personal workstation, the one that I'm actually using to record the session, I have here, I have 4 2080 Ti's, and actually I'm only using 3 to render because I always like to keep one for the viewport. Yeah, so I felt like, what's the point? I mean, it's eight GPUs against 3. When the 2080 Ti's came out, they were about like 20 times faster than the 1080 Ti's, including even on render. I didn't really notice that huge boost that they were claiming back then, like NVIDIA. I mean, I decided to go for a test. You know, I decided to just grab my workstation, the same 3 GPUs that I was talking about, the 2080 Ti's, and I decided to grab my GPU farm and drop down to 3 GPUs, so I could just measure in a more efficient way the difference between both in performance. So yeah, I just opened up Max. I mean, this was a one last minute decision. I grabbed like 5 of my scenes, and I just sent it to the queue line, 12 frames of each scene, and yeah, I waited for it to render. And then I went to conclusions. So that's where I'm gonna talk with you guys. Of course, that there are different systems, right? They have different CPUs. I mean, I have a Threadripper here. The slaves, they have 2 dual Xeons. So I wanted to take off the equation of light cache and loading scenes. So I really wanted to grab just the time from the first bucket to the last bucket. So I went into the deadline info, and I just grabbed this specific second or minute second and calculated the precise time of buckets. So, and I would like to first start with this scene and to debrief a little bit how it's built, because normally I always render different light passes. I can even just a second, I guess it's this one. Yeah, so let me just bring it up over here. So, nope, I want to get some extra space. Okay, yeah, perfect. Normally I try to split my renders into light sources to have a little bit more control in post. In case if I have some flickerings on specular and stuff like this, I can clean on every single light. So normally I render like a dome light. This one is a directional light. This one is the kind of the background light, and of course the spotlights because they were on. And on this specific scene over here, I'm gonna compare which PowerPoint here. Okay, so on this specific scene over here, this was the average time for each frame on each machine. So I would say that they look consistent. There's no crazy gaps between both, and the Optix version was 2.68 times faster. And as I said at the beginning, when I bought my 2080 Ti's and when V-Ray did implemented the Optix system, I could notice a gain of around 20%, even on my render times. And when they actually implemented Optix, I could notice a boost on a few scenes, but I never noticed that my personal workstation was rendering faster than one of the slaves. I mean, this is crazy because, I mean, we're talking about a 17K system, like the farm. It's a dual Xeon system with 8 1080 Ti's against the 7K personal workstation. I mean, it's twice the money back then, but you get like three times more performance almost. I mean, this is getting crazy. So that's why I decided to grab this as one of the main topics to talk today. I mean, I didn't have that much stuff to do anyway. So, I didn't have that much stuff to talk besides this. And let's keep going. And this is another shot. I mean, I can also show a little bit again what's happening on the shot. So yeah, so I have like one spot over the car. I have the environment from outside and the backlight of the car. And once again, on this specific scene, we got an average of 19 minutes on my farm, and on my personal workstation, I got 7 minutes. That's crazy, it's like 2.59 times faster. And actually, all the scenes they had about the same amount of boost.
All right, we're back live. We are unfortunately running out of time. We already have our colleagues from New York on the room, right? Welcome, James, Ken, Mengi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. I hope you are enjoying the show. As Ricardo said, we are running late.
Yeah, so we unfortunately had to. Yeah, we had to cut a bit of Andrea's presentation so you can make room for our last live presentation by Pedro Conti and Victor Hugo. Guys, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, nice. All right. So we can start. I'm sorry we are running late, but that's what happens with a live event such as this one. So I'd like to introduce Pedro Conti and Victor Hugo Queiroz with Making Katy Perry Smile. Such a beautiful name for a presentation, isn't it?
That's it. Sounds fancy, right?
Yeah, super fancy. So
no one else is fancy.
Probably should move forward so the guys on
Myself.
the will heal us, right? Victor Hugo, it's in the house.
See, you're fancy.
All right, the mic is all yours, guys.
All right. So let me just share my screen here.
Everybody was doing like so many fancy presentations that we decided to be like the fancy of the presentation.
So you want to start, Victor? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Should I start, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Victor Hugo. I'm a 3D artist. Work for like a lot of companies around the world, and I've been doing 3D for like the last 15 years. And yeah, this is it. And what about you, Pedro?
Yeah, my name is Pedro Conti. I'm a 3D artist, also specialized in characters. So yeah, we recently were involved in a Katy Perry music video, and we would like just to show like some behind of the scenes and how we managed to go through the project in 6 weeks. So it's pretty much a 2 minutes animated film that we produced in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll share just a little bit for people that haven't seen, so just you can get to know what is the project looks like, and then we go through like some behind the scenes.
It's really been a while, but now I got that best smile. I'm so thankful. Scratch that, baby, I'm grateful. Now you see me shine from a mile. Finally got that best smile. Every day, Groundhog Day.
Since we're running out of time, so can I continue for here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the project was like a partnership between like Nathan Love, Flow Animation, and Little Zoo. Nathan Love was a producer and doing like all the I forgot the name. It's the
like more creative direction and managing the client and all that stuff. And yeah, go ahead.
No, you can continue.
And we were working through Flow Animation, which is my studio here. So we were responsible for 3D and making all the assets and lighting out and all that stuff. And Little Zoo was the animation, was responsible for the animation part. So now Victor will talk a little bit about the production and the universe and how we went through.
Yeah. So the main reference for the video was Mike Ryden work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with. He does like kind of like paintings with like some really like unique characters and in the art style, kind of like some pastel work. And Kate Paris, yeah, he made a portrait of her, and she became like I think they're friends, right?
Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah, and so she really liked the style and wanted to do like something more like it's kind of like circus thing with like some really like unique characters and visual. So that was like the main like universe behind like the idea behind it. So for our pipeline, usually normal pipeline is like you do the concept art, the sculpting, modeling, production, look, devils and facing, lighting, render, and post-production. This is like how it usually works. But as Pedro mentioned, we had like 6 weeks to do everything. So it's kind of impossible to do that. So we kind of make a new pipeline, which is pretty much like this. Like we had to go back and forth like a lot of times. We didn't have time for the concepts for like from scratch, like wait for concept approval. So we kind of made like the concepts while we are modeling, like on the fly. So the same for like environments. We are modeling the environments and at the same time like finding the right lighting for the environments. And like we sometimes we even have like shaders in there testing like some post-production effects and things like that. So it was like a really like organic and kind of crazy kind of way to work, you know. But it worked out. For example, this character is the prince. It's funny that some people say that he's based on Orlando Bloom. He's not. And the first version was like this guy like in a suit. Then they actually like to, after some exploring, we decided to go like for this like Latin prince and go exploring. So as you can see, like all this was on the fly. We didn't have like to wait for like concept approval, you know. The same for the other characters. For example, the ringmaster. All the for example, all the characters were done like exploring and changing. And for this one, for example, the Hig was already done when we were talking. For example, when we were working on it. And the same for Katie, you know.
Yeah, Katie was like, we started modeling her without knowing how she's supposed to look like in the music video. So we started just like guessing a few things, and then we got a picture like maybe 1 or 2 days before sending for rigging. So yeah, we just did some adjustments and made her ready for production, but was a lot about putting stuff in 3D, even if it doesn't look good, just to start a conversation, so we could feel like what that could go or not, you know, and we ended up going for that version. So yeah, we'll just quickly go through like environments too. So usually for the environments, we started like the NU.MA team would get like some reference for us, and we would start working. So we usually go straight from the reference to some 3D tests with the camera and all that stuff, so we could start a conversation. So that was very quick work, and from that we will send a 3D model so they can do like some quick drawing on top, and then we could like arrive somewhere that looks like the final. But yeah, and then we do some render tests just to feel like how the light could look like. And while we are developing this, we are already getting the cameras and the animation, and we are working on the fly, just testing lighting and making things look like in the final film. So we went through this process like quite a few times. So yeah, we got some references, then we go for the 3D, just testing cameras and see how the film could look like. And then we test like different lights. And yeah, and then Victor, yeah, you can talk maybe a little bit about this one.
So I kind of don't remember what about this shot.
So yeah, so we went through this really process where I started something, and then Victor takes over, and Victor starts something, and then I take over.
Yeah, it was really back and forth, like in like sharing files, right?
Yeah, it was totally like a very organic process.
Yeah.
So we went like from like reference through conversations and putting things in the final. So same thing for this one. So the client really liked this first render here, which inspired for this sequence here. So we work like exactly from cameras and put the characters in there until we approve like the final shot, you know.
Yeah, and also like some decisions were taken like until the like very last minute.
Yeah, exactly. So this one was like we had some references too, and then we started like testing because we were supposed to have clouds everywhere. So we did some very technical work just to see like render times to see if it's possible. Then we went through a very rough scenes, you know, and then we kept working and improving the layout and the clouds. And then this one is like final animation, but lighting is not final. But then here we have like the final one. Yep. So yeah, we went through like a lot of shots, you know, and different modes. So we had the chance to explore a lot lighting and everything. But was a really fun project to work on, and V-Ray was very stable. We rendered the whole film online through Rebel's Farm, so which was like
one thing else I think is cool to mention that like we didn't have much time for processing, so like a lot of things like we took like straight from render, like DOF and fog and all the stuff, and V-Ray was like really essential for that.
Yeah. So as Victor said, as you see here, it's pretty much like the raw render. So
yeah,
because we
some
didn't
like
have
color correction.
really quick grading. But yeah, that's how we we can talk for now because we don't have much time. So
Yeah.